Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday check-in session, a half hour of Dharma, reflection, and community connections. My name is Priscilla, and I'm dialing in from sunny Sydney today. So if you're a new member to the community, please accept our wholehearted welcome. And if you have any questions about our practices and topics, we're all here to help. If you're a regular, welcome back. It is customary in Australia to begin any meeting by acknowledging the traditional owners of our land. So in the spirit of reconciliation, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we walk, study, and reside, the Wodi people of the Dharawal Nation. And I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. I also pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you all are. The check-in sessions have been developed by our Communities of Practice team and the entire community. These sessions aim to develop a reflective practice in response to changes. Guided by humanistic Buddhism, we would like to cultivate our practices and build memorable friendships. For the June sessions, we are delighted to have Venerable Miao Guang back to share the Bodhi Light Tales with us, enjoying selected short stories on mindfulness and wisdom and exploring deeper meanings together. Today, Venerable Miao Guang will share with us the story of the two arrows. Please welcome Venerable.
Thank you, Priscilla, and good morning, everyone from Australia, Philippines, and anywhere in the world. I'm very happy to be back with all of you for a second session. I'm now back in Fogwangshan in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, and my time is 9 a.m. right now. And I hope wherever you are, in your time zone and place, you are well and joyful. And as Xiaomong reminded me this week, not to forget the mindful checking. Let's begin with short moments of mindful practice. Okay, I guess I'm supposed to be leading this. Okay. Please excuse me. Okay, and so may I invite you to feel comfortable in your chair, whether you have your legs crossed or you have your legs naturally and comfortably hanging down the edges of your chair. Make sure that the soles of your feet are touching the floor and your arms, your shoulders are relaxed so that your arms are hanging off your shoulders gently. And your body is also gently propped up, that your spine is straight, but without applying too much stress to it. So let us begin. Now, just as my body is settled on this chair, may my mind also settle on this body, which is now ready in the comfortable space of the community of practice. I will now just focus in this moment, in this space, on the topic that we are ready to embark on. Now let's take a few deep breaths, and with each breath, we can pay attention to where our mind is grounded using this body. So first of all, take a deep breath, breathe in, and breathe out. At this moment, may my mind be focused on the skin of my skull, nothing else. The beginning of bare attention that all I'm observing is the presence of skin from my skull. As I take another breath in and out, I will shift my focus downwards on my body. Breathe in, breathe out. Skin on my forehead. Breathe in, breathe out. Around my ears, skin. Breathe in, out. Around my face, skin. Breathe in, out, around my neck, skin. As I pay bare attention to the presence of skin around my body, it is as if I'm walking around a field with a bag of seeds that has a hole in it. With every seed that drops, it's a thought that is past. And once it drops, it's in the past. There's no need to hold on to it. Let's just keep moving forward. Breathe in, out. My left shoulder and forearm, skin. My right shoulder and forearm, skin. My chest, skin. My upper back, skin. As I pay bare attention to different parts of my body in the presence of skin, should any moment that my mind drifts away, it's okay. Let's gently smile and say, ah, my mind has gone off for a ride. Now I will guide it back to my body as the basis of mindfulness again. And we'll keep moving down towards our body. Now my abdomen, skin. My lower back, skin. My left thigh and my lower left shin, skin. My right thigh, my right shin, skin. My left foot, skin. My right foot, skin. As I practice this, I realize that my mind is firmly grounded on the presence of skin on my body in a very objective way. I do not label anything or any feelings towards what I'm observing. Simply bear attention as I run my mind through my body from top to feet. As we do this, we begin our practice of bare attention to begin to create a space between what I think is I and what reality is. And this space will allow us to feel at ease, to relax, and to fully open our mind and to observe reality as it is. Now I'd like you to take 3 more deep breaths to end this short mindfulness practice. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. One more sit. In, out. Now let us slowly open our eyes and turn our attention back to this Zoom session. Wonderful. Thank you so much. In those short moments of mindfulness practice, it is a way to help our mind be grounded on something so that it has a focus and it will remain undistracted. You can practice this at home, going from head to toe, observing the presence of your skin, and then backwards, from toe back to your skull for the second round. And we can go deeper from skin to flesh to bone as the start of the 4 ways of establishing mindfulness. So I hope that was effective for you, and in the future we can explore deeper steps. But in the meantime, let us come back to today's topic, which is story 171, of Bodhi Light Tales, 2 Arrows. In this story, the Buddha, known for his skillful teaching methods, posed a question to his disciples. He asked them, what is the difference between a trained mind and an untrained mind when both experience pleasant and painful feelings? The disciples were unsure, so they waited for the Buddha to explain. Then the Buddha described how an untrained mind reacts to pain with arrow, grief. Let me start that again. An untrained mind reacts to pain with sorrow, grief, and a desire to escape through sensual pleasures, resulting in both physical and mental suffering, like being struck with 2 arrows. This aversion to pain becomes a habitual tendency, leading to attachment to birth, old age, and death. In contrast, a trained mind experiences only physical pain without the mental anguish. They understand the nature of pain. They know it will pass and do not seek refuge in sensual pleasures. Thus, they avoid the double suffering and remain unattached to life's inevitable changes. The disciples, enlightened by this teaching, expressed their gratitude and committed to diligent practice to avoid the pain of the second arrow. Today I bring this story because of a conversation I had with Dr. Lewis Lancaster while I was in LA last week. It's been a while since I last saw him in May as he visited Taiwan, and throughout the year he experienced frequent visits in and out of the hospital. The latest one was due to a fall in the kitchen in the middle of the night about 2 months ago. And as he shared his experience with all of us, he talked about his initial reaction to the fall. He said in the middle of the night he got up, decided to go to the kitchen to get some water. And then he thought to himself, maybe he didn't need his walker. So he decided to just depend on his weak legs and headed to the kitchen. Unfortunately, as he turned around in front of the sink, he fell and shattered his spine. And as a result, he had to sit in the kitchen until daylight before he got help. He stayed in the hospital for at least a month or so for rehabilitation. And as he went through this, he had a conversation with his physician. He said that he fell because of his attachment to ego, because he believed that he was strong enough not to rely on a walker. And that was the result of his fall. But to his surprise, the physician said otherwise. He said to him, well, look, you didn't fall because of your ego. You fell simply because of gravity. That was it. And then he smiled. He says, indeed, that was a moment he let go and realized that's how we accept reality as it is. Indeed, this is the difference between whether you get shot by life's second arrows. As reality happens, pain might arise, but how we react to it will depend whether we get shot by the second arrow again. Should we label it with the feelings of pain, disappointment, suffering, or attachment? And so this teaches us to just observe life as it happens without being in a hurry to label it with any of our feelings, whether it's good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant, desirable or undesirable, and so on. And it will help us to focus on what we can actually do next to move on, rather than fixating on what should have happened. So we say, if only, what if? Only if this happened, I'd be able to do this and that, this wouldn't have happened. Actually, when we do this, this is the second arrow. And so as I flew back from San Francisco on Friday night, I was very lucky to be given a priority pass through security. If you travel in America, you know how convenient that is. While Venerable Ziyue, who traveled with me, had to go through the regular long line. However, although my line was only about 10 meters to security, it just didn't budge. While Venerable Ziyue cruised along her line until maybe just one turn until she got through. So those who were sending of us on the other side just joked about how she may possibly arrive faster than the priority line. And as I listened to this, I realized how impatient I was because I started to to wonder, okay, why isn't this line moving? It's supposed to get there, right? And I'm supposed to arrive much faster. So why am I still waiting here? And upon that moment, I reminded myself, oh, okay, so are you living in reality as it is, or are you living in reality as it should be? The next thing I told myself is to just let the mind sit with its body as it waits. And if it's not going anywhere, just sit and watch. Because at that moment, what I realized was that the flight was 2 hours away and I wasn't going anywhere. So it wouldn't have mattered if I got through in 5 minutes or in 15. And at that moment, my impatience went away. So I just sat there and wait as everything happens. And interestingly, at that moment, the line began to move smoothly. And in less than 10 minutes, I was through security and waiting for Venerable Ziyue, who was almost there. And so in this incident, I hoped that I also dodged the second arrow. I realized whether I was impatient or not, I would eventually get through. And so I'm reminded by the saying, suffering is inevitable, but pain is an option. So this story coming from the Agamas is a very interesting one to help us train our minds to make sure that as we sit in the space between the self and reality, we can make a wise decision as to how we will get through it. You either do so wisely and in peace, or you do it in pain. So this is what I'd like to share this week, and I hope you enjoy the story, and I look forward to your reflection and sharing about the story. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much, Venerable Miao Guang, for sharing your personal and very thought-provoking stories with us today. Venerable Miao Guang has also prepared the following questions for us to consider. In what ways can we train our minds to respond to life's challenges more like a trained person described by the Buddha? And can you share a time when you experienced pain or difficulty and how your reaction to it made a difference in your life and well-being? So as per usual, now we'll be placed in groups of 3 to 4 to share and discuss. In the discussion, we recommend you spend some time getting to know each other and then discussing the questions. There will be some Zoom notifications to guide you, but feel free to let the flow guide you as well. Our sessions are guided by metta, which is unconditional love and kindness for all living beings. Let's use these breakout sessions to express and receive loving kindness to and from one another. Take time to pause, to share, and to listen. So we'll also ask you to share some of your findings with a larger group at the end of the breakout. But now let's go to the rooms for some rich and nourishing discussions. See you all back in 15 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. We got everyone back. I hope you all had some great discussions just then. I think we could have kept going for another 10, 20, 30 minutes there in our group. There's so much to discuss. So I think we're coming up to 11:30. So I'll just ask everyone to type any comments you may have in the chat box. So these little quotes will be collected and our poster team makes beautiful posters to send to the rest of the community, sharing the wisdom of the community. So Lai Chin's made a comment there as an example. So the energy of mindfulness to embrace the pain at the current moment and to care for it instead of cure it. So really stepping back. So this discovery, understanding, and wisdom will liberate from the pain at the moment. So keep typing in there. We'll just close the session and then we'll have some more discussions if Venerable Miao Guang is staying around a bit later, and you can share your questions and discussions a bit more. We really hope the check-in session was helpful to you, and we hope you experienced the unconditional love and compassion of this community. But for anyone who might be experiencing a greater need than what today could meet, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. And you can also reach out to the professional organisations on the screen. A couple of announcements. Our friend Dr. Chris Zaslowski will be sharing a talk on Chinese medicine and emotions as part of an NTI conversation series. So not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday on Zoom from 1 p.m. And we'll share the link in the chat box and a midweek email. Also, if you're in Wollongong over the next couple of months, don't miss the Zen and Tangle of Bodhisattvas in the human world. It's an art exhibition at the Nantian Art Gallery, open Tuesday to Sunday, 10 till 4. Next week, Venerable Miao Guang will continue joining us online and share with us the wisdom from the Bodhi Light Tales. So if you have time, please come and join us. As we check out today, let's recite the dedication of merits together to send love and compassion to whoever is in need. And again, I think I have a slight problem with sound, so can I ask Venerable Miao Guang to lead us in this recitation, if I may?
So I would like to invite everyone to join your palms with me as we read the dedication of merits. May kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity pervade all worlds. May we cherish and build affinities to benefit all beings. May chant, pure land, and precepts inspire equality and patience. May our gratitude and humility give rise to great vows. May we dedicate today's peace of mind, a sense of mastery to ourselves, to our loved ones, and to all those connected, so that all living beings may live free from the pain caused by the second error. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Venerable Miao Guang, and thank you for your time and your generous sharing with us today. Thank you, Joe.
Pleasure's all mine.
Thank you, Venerable. Thank you, Joe, for being our IT master behind the scenes, and thank you, everyone, for joining us. So now we'll have our usual plenary sessions, so please stay around if you have time. Otherwise, we'll see you again next Sunday at 11 a.m.